Okay. It has been 5 years since I did a tour of my sewing room, and it has changed a little bit since then, so let's just do another one. And I'm behind the camera today because I'm still in my jammies and it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Long story, but we didn't really get much sleep last night, so it's been like a little bit of up, take a little bit of nap, get up, take a little bit of nap today. I didn't get done all the things I wanted to do today, but that's just it. Alright, so I know that I didn't have all these ducks when I did the other one. These are all ducks that I collected off of different cruise ship trips. I also hide them. And so this was from the Constellation in February when we went to New Orleans. And this one was from, they didn't say. I'm pretty sure it was our December cruise though. And it is all Christmassy. So I'll have to look up and write on there. I'm glad I saw that today. Then this one is from the Constellation in November. And let's see. This is from the Carnival Paradise in February of 22. This is one of the first ones I found. I just love the card they made, Mariner of the Seas. Oh, this was the COVID trip. This is a cutie. And then on this one, I didn't have to find any. I met another duck person and we traded, and so she gave me 2 keychains. Now, I try to get 2 ducks on every trip. One to keep for my little collection here, and then one to send sailing on the next trip that I go on. Oh, this was the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. That was really a fun cruise. It was over 4th of July. Yeah, and then I went to a duck hider swap and ended up with this one from Enchantment of the Seas. Yeah, I actually ended up with 2 because my cousin Erica participated, but she couldn't make it to the swap. So I picked the 2 ducks and the 2 bags. Actually, you don't know what's in them. And they were these giant ducks, so bonus. Yeah. So I pretty much have the same stuff, I think, on the walls that I did 5 years ago. This back here is, I had framed for my friend Alice. I need to take that to her on Friday. I keep forgetting I've had it forever. Like April was her birthday, so that tells you how long. Yeah, I think I had the thread spools of thread here before, and maybe not a necklace of buttons. It's a handmade basket from a friend of mine in Kodiak, or a fellow quilter in Kodiak. Most of these quilts are from Kodiak. And then I have my jar of jewelry for taking apart. These are things I wanted off the ceiling fan, or it fell off. I got those 2 there. But anyway, yeah, this is for a future project I have in mind. And just a place to put those. I could have put them in a drawer, but then I forget they're there. And more fabric. Lots of things to do with adult coloring or painting kinds of things. And this just has ribbon in it. And that's my Bernina sewing machine. And unfortunately, now that I have the addition of these, which I'll show you in a minute, you can't really see my Alaska quilters. But you can still see these. And I don't know if all 5 of these were on the wall at the last one, or if it was just the bottom 3. But 4 out of the 5 are by Judy, I think it's Severson, and they're on relief and they're quilt patterns, but there's always a mistake, something turned the wrong way or something on each of them, because she says quilting isn't perfect or handmade isn't perfect. So there it is on this one. See how that's turned that way, and the center loop is the other direction on all of those. This one would be a little harder to see. And this one's just too high up to see it. This is another person. I found this actually in a thrift store. There's her name right there. It's hard to read. No, that just says Spring Bouquet, sorry. Here's her name. Does it say Nance or Nancy Billman? It's really hard. It's in pencil and really hard. This one actually looks like it's one of these, and it is another Judy Severson, but it's actually a poster that was made for a quilt show. And I didn't even realize that when I bought it. And that's my rocking chair from when I was a little girl. I used to keep Jerry's little teddy bear from when he was a little boy. But then we got naughty dogs, so I had to put it up, and I just haven't put it back. But yeah, these are I love these. These have bigger pieces of fabric in them, and half-finished quilts, that kind of thing. These just hold a lot. Yeah, and this is all from IKEA. And this, of course, is the old treadle machine that I don't use. I need to get a piece of wood and stain to cover that front part. But I don't use it, but I'm not going to get rid of it, at least not now. And behind these doors, I can't open because we'd never be able to get it closed again. And that was my mom's. She used this as a table topper. It's a wedding ring. I think I may have bought her this at the quilt show in Kodiak. And then, of course, we have a TV and a Wii, and these are coloring books. And then there's stuff in the drawers, different kinds of stuff, some gift wrapping stuff, and just get video games, that sort of thing. And the two paintings I did while on cruise ships, which I don't know what to do with, so they're just there. And then and these pictures, oil paintings, were my mom's too, of Mount Rainier and something else, an area by Mount Rainier. Oops. Ah. I'm a real pro with this, huh? So let's see, that's Mount Rainier. And not sure what to do with those just yet. And just some handmade, there's Jerry's old bear, and all these other bears, rabbits, and dolls are handmade. They're just way over my head. And this is all small pieces of fabric, fat quarters, fat eighths, that sort of thing. Maybe some half yards, but not much. And I kind of have them in color order. And then that is a, what do you call this, cross-stitched bird feeder that my friend Tracy, her Nana, made. And then I got some bolts of fabric and some stuffing and a little project there that never got done. That doesn't belong to me, technically. Yeah. Oh, and I have a stained glass bear paw quilt block, because when I was in a quilt guild, it was called the Bear Paw Quilters Guild. Now, what I have now that I didn't have 5 years ago was a lighting system for doing YouTube videos. And the window light, of course, is too bright for it to really come in. But I have my Singer out because I was sewing some heavy stuff for hubby on a piece of equipment that I don't know what you call it, a cover broke or whatever. So I would definitely not use my Bernina for that. And, you know, I just keep pinhole magnetic. This is magnetic, and so is this. This little thing, it looks like thread, but it's magnetic. And then other pin cushions and dog treats. And then a spotlight. And then I lost my thing for holding thread on. Someone else, okay, so here's the story. So I go on the Pokemon bus twice a week. And one of those days is always like garbage day, special pickup day in St. Pete, or Pinellas Park. We were happened to be in St. Pete that day. And someone had this machine out on the side of the road, but it was in a cover. And people on the bus are like, what is that? That box, that's weird, you know? And I said, that's a sewing machine. And someone says, oh, I know someone who wants a sewing machine. So we grabbed it. It was raining, and so luckily it had the cover on it. Had a little water, but not too bad. And it's the exact same sewing machine as mine, except it had one additional letter. Like, say if it's a 4912, it was like a 4912T or something, but they were almost identical. So it didn't have the foot thing, you know, that you plug in to be able to make it work. But that person, I guess, can try to find one if they can. But I said, well, I'll take it home and use mine, plug it in, just to verify that it works. And it worked. And I did sew on it just a little, although that machine's going to need, you know, cleaned and all of that. I did a lot of scrubbing and cleaning on it, but the inside, that's not me. Any machine needs that. And I know it's expensive, but, you know, I don't know what they did with it. But anyway, I did my part. But in all of that, there's a little thing that goes here that holds your thread on. You know, once you put your thread on the spool, it keeps it on there. And I think I left it on that machine when I gave it back to him. So I just took a styrofoam ball, poked a hole in it. It actually works really well because it just goes right over it. It doesn't, you know, get stuck on it at all. So anyway, so then I have my drawer thing, which I don't think has really changed much in 5 years. I pretty much have all my cutting devices on the top. Scissors, straight, you know, I can't think of the name of them right now. And then there's electric scissors and stuff from the moms, Jerry's mom, my mom. I've never used them, and I'll probably get rid of them at some time. But there's all kinds of stuff from when I had quilty box. I got all kinds of specialty scissors that, okay, so that's sticking to that because it's metal. All kinds of little specialty scissors and stuff. And a little precise cutter thing. Something for the rotary cutters. That's it, rotary cutters. To these things are to sharpen the blades. And then this is threads and needles. Oh, I really like this one, because needles are always kind of a pain. See, I told you I was in my jammies. And this is a magnetic thing. They just all stick in there real nice. And this is like, you know, clamps. I used those when I worked on Jerry's project. These are the same thing. You separate the two pieces and then they work like, just like the two hearts that are on that thing over there. You know, just holding layers of fabric together. People used to pin it. Now they just do a lot of magnetic stuff. And what was this? I don't remember. I'm sure it's from, I can't get it off. Oh, well. It's from Quilty Box. And, oh, okay. Oh, that's a needle holder. You put needles in it like if you travel or something, I guess. This is just a little tweezers for getting things out. And that's a little, what do you call it? Screwdrivers, mini screwdrivers. And there's some thread back here. There's all kinds of sewing machine needles and stuff, magnifying glass, and then some assorted stuff, cutting mat cleaner. This mostly has to do with literal sewing, the actual seams and stuff, you know. Oh, these are magnets, I can tell. Yeah, oh, Sew Tights, magnetic sewing pins. Yeah, they're just for holding stuff together while you know, put it through the machine. This has glues, seam rippers, just assorted stuff, some tape and measuring and needle nose pliers, and these things you can mark a quilt with that are, and then there's a little bit of assorted stuff in terms of crafting, a little bit of bead stuff. Most of my bead stuff is over there, but which I remember this was here. And this is for bonsai, actually. I don't know how it got in here. And just some, like, some mesh fabric, or mesh stuff. This is for more, like, making, like, stuff, like, a little bit more heavy-duty industrial type items. Oops. And this has a lot of ribbon. And a notepad that has more ribbon in the box. And then these are masks that I had started during the pandemic and didn't finish. And they got to be available again. Of course, you have to have these and this, a little tiny cutter, a mini cutter, because I do mini quilting. And these were what I used for the ear things for masks. So, yeah. So I use my rat terrier fabric for masks, but I still have a different rat terrier fabric with coffee that I can use for something else. But yeah, these are all cut to size and ready to go. But, you know, I was working on them that day when my mom called saying she wasn't feeling good, and then she ended up passing away, and I kind of didn't go back to it, I guess. All right, so I got a problem with this drawer. I knew we were having a problem with one of these drawers, but I wasn't sure which one. Okay, I think I found the culprit down here. It's this base mold, I think. Nope. Anyway, this just has random craft stuff in it, including paint. Yeah. And what it's doing is it's keeping the drawer below it from going all the way. And these are kind of unfinished projects, or like, you know, kind of, this one just needs a binding, really. I think maybe some hand quilting. This one's a whole body of, I was going to, anyway, long boring story. But yeah, and then here's a bunch of blocks I made. This is from the jewelry thing. This is separate because these are things I might keep or give to someone that I know. Yeah, so those are my chicken quilt and my birdhouse quilt, which aren't quilts yet, but maybe someday. Now that I'm retired, why am I not getting this done? What's with you, Minnie? Minnie says, I know you keep treats in here. I have stuffed some canvases here, painting canvases, and then that back there is a light box. I'm not going to pull it out. I got that for, well, you can use it for like, if you have something you want to sell on eBay and you want to get a really good photograph of it. I was going to photograph my whole collection at one time, but I do have it kind of glued down with, what do we call it, earthquake wax. So I decided not to pull it all apart after all. And then over here, this is for the light box, for carrying it with you. And I think that's about it. So it's a little bit different. Yeah, the light when the sun from the window. It's a little bit different than before, but not, you know, terribly so. So we'll just go out on this beautiful picture right here. Thanks for watching.